Okay, we actually got some very, very interesting Kanye news over the past 3 to 4 days. We even have somewhat of a leaked track list, but let's go over everything that's been happening in the Ye and dollar sign rollout or Kanye news in general over the past few days. So let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and it recaps everything that's been happening in hip hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So before we get to that leaked track list, and we'll kind of put it into perspective and talk about what it is, let's start with some of the more surface level news that we've had over the past few days, but they're still pretty interesting. So let's take a look at this. So you might have seen this, but Kanye has been spotted wearing merch, wearing a t-shirt with a Vultures logo. Now this obviously refers to the song Vultures that they dropped, so Ty Dolla $ign and himself as possibly the first single for the Ye and dollar sign project that they're doing, but he was seen out and about in Dubai, I believe still to this point, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the latest updates that I got, and he was seen wearing this. Now we also have this logo of this thing. There's been a lot of theories even involving Drake, but I don't want to go into this, him calling Drake a vulture or something because he wore a similar jacket, but let's not go into that. But this is interesting. So will this be merch for this thing? I doubt it. This was probably like a design that even existed before, and he kind of went off of that and then just wore it to promote Vultures or just kind of identify with it. That's what I'm guessing this is. This wasn't like groundbreaking, this wasn't like crazy, but at least he's like acknowledging that the Vultures thing is a single, is a song, because up to this point there was no real word from Ye if this was a single, how this even fitted into the whole thing. So at least now he's rocking Vultures, I guess. Now what I want to add is that symbolism with the Vultures and that very military looking logo is honestly not a good sign, because y'all remember after the comments on Hitler when he wore the German military thing, but like the old version, not like the nowadays version of the military, but like the 40s, 50s, like back when Hitler was there. That was also pretty weird why he wore a shirt with that logo on it, and this Vultures thing looks pretty similar. So I don't know what the connection is, but a lot of people probably gonna roast him for that, or like just hate him. But hey, that was only the first news, and even this was pretty exciting. But let's now talk about this track list that I promised, and I have to put this into perspective real quick because you know, I don't want anybody to think that this is the track list, because it's not. Somebody posted this, a mod posted this on the Good Ass Sub. Shout out to the Good Ass Sub. Sometimes they're very militant when it comes to using some of their content, but I want to give a huge shout out to them because they're doing incredible work and they're a huge, you know, huge community of Kanye fans. Sometimes they're very aggressive, but I want to express my love to y'all, even if some of y'all don't like me, but I want to express my love to y'all. And somebody posted this, and he even labeled this as potentially misleading, so take this with a huge grain of salt. He also said that in the comments then, but he says anonymous source sent me the alleged Italy sessions track list. This is interesting. Now, the Italy sessions was obviously before the Dubai sessions, before the Saudi Arabia sessions. So this was, you know, might be an earlier version of the track list that is not even up to date anymore. We'll go through it in a second, but that is something that I want to stress. Even if this is real, even if this is like a picture of the whiteboard that we once thought was going to be the track list, something like that, even if this is like at least a month old, at least, you know, maybe even 2 months ever since we got those first snippets. So take this with a huge grain of salt, because this is then likely outdated and they might have removed or added some new songs, changed the songs, whatever. Because let's take a look at this now, and you know, from the first thing we can see that there might be some differences on here. So this is the picture right here, and you can see that this is titled BBPB. What this means, I don't know. A lot of people are saying bad bitches please behave, but that was, yeah, that's like a joke, and some people then commented further on this. But let me know what y'all think BBPB means. I have no idea. I kind of thought about this for a couple of minutes. I have no idea, honestly. And then we have 14 tracks in total, which I think is a pretty good length for an album. I would love if this thing to have 14 tracks, and we can kind of go through this. You can also see that they're divided into 3 parts, which is interesting. The first part is called Commit, the second part Doubt, and the third part, even subdivided into part 3.1 and 3.2, is called, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but is that Realization or malization. Let me know how y'all decipher that. Some of these words are pretty, that you can't decipher them, but we'll kind of see as we go through this. So the first track is called Slidin', then it's called In the Stars, then we already have New Body, so a song that they already premiered and a song that's been going around ever since the Yandi days, so that would be pretty cool. Then a track called Fuck Some. That is sounding promising. Then let me know what y'all think this is. Prayed or paid. Then we have Paperwork, which I think some snippets were already going around or some tentative titles. But if y'all are way deeper into the lore than me, then let me know. The same also goes for Burn. So that was one that I think is called Cash to Burn. And, Kanye fans have been wanting that for a very long time. Then we have Love Me the Most. Then back to M. Or In, I don't know. Then we have Time Moves Slow. Then we have Worship. Then we have City Underground, which was also a reference that a couple of people were making to City in the Sky, so kind of that correlation right there, so that being the counterpart to this. Then we have So Good, ? And the last track is called River, featuring Thug. So far, the only feature that we can tell from this track list is Young Thug on the last track, but that last track is like in a different handwriting and just like at the bottom, so maybe that was just like added afterwards. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about this, what your theories are. Now, one thing that should immediately, catch your eyes is that Vultures is obviously not on here, which is kind of weird because now he's also rocking the Vultures shirt, and Vultures was the first single. And that was a song that they created their Spotify account with and just, basically distributed this whole thing independently. And they were calling themselves Ye and Dollar Sign. Now it's also not called Ye and Dollar Sign, but BBPB. So all those things combined make it seem a little bit suspicious that this is somewhat of the actual up-to-date track list. This more seems like an outdated version when there was no Vultures and when there was still BBPB instead of Ye and Dollar Sign. Even though it could be that their group name is Ye and Dollar Sign and the album is called BBPB, but as I, explained in earlier videos, I doubt that because with Kids See Ghosts, it was also the way that, they dropped their self-titled project. And Ty Dolla $ign has been teasing at Ye and Dollar Sign so much and everybody connected to it that I think it's going to be called Ye and Dollar $ign. So obviously this is really big. This is pretty interesting. As the mod on the Good Ass Sub said, somebody anonymously sent this to him, so we don't have a source to confirm. We need more people to confirm this. One thing that I wanted to go into is that a couple of people were explaining this by saying, I think it's worth saying that the guy who sent it knew the name City Underground before Saint Leon posted it. And Saint Leon, if you don't know, is the guy that also recently on last Friday, dropped Oxygen, which has a Kanye feature, and he was the guy also on Sci-Fi off of Donna 2 that was then scrapped and given to him. So it seems like somehow this is connected, but we don't really know. That is just the slightest and faintest piece of evidence or explanation that we have for this. It's likely outdated. It might be real though. Let me say that. That's like the closest thing that I can say to this being real. Now let me know what y'all think about this though. I think it's really interesting to start a discussion about this. One, about the shirt, about the Vulture shirt, and second, about the track list and if it's outdated or real. Let me know all your thoughts on this and what your speculations and theories are on the track list in the comments down below.